We have the fastest rate of new cancer of anywhere in the history of human civilization.
Iowa?
Iowa.
I and all but one of my brothers have prostate cancer. My sister had a radical form of breast cancer.
People are dying from cancer due to alcohol.
But Iowa isn't the only state with binge drinking.
Cancer caused by smoking has reached an all-time high.
Iowa isn't the only state that has smoking.
People in the legislature were complaining about me to my bosses, and there were some implicit threats about funding and other things. When the data doesn't align with what your worldview is, the objective isn't to change your worldview, it's to try to eliminate the data or hide the data.
Have you ever wondered why cancer rates are slowly falling across almost all of America? Yet in one single state, they're climbing faster than anywhere else in the history of human civilization? Not California with its smog, not Louisiana with its chemical corridor. Iowa. Quiet, peaceful, corn-covered Iowa, a state where families have farmed the same land for 5 generations, is now producing cancer diagnoses faster than any place scientists have ever measured. And the reason why is not a mystery to the people who live there. It is a secret that some of the most powerful corporations in America have spent decades and millions of dollars trying to bury. Before we go any further, you need to know 2 things. First, buried inside this story is a document so damaging that when it surfaced, it revealed the safety studies protecting a best-selling weed killer were secretly written by the company selling it. And second, the final revelation in this video about what Iowa lawmakers quietly did in the dark will genuinely disturb you. Stay with me, because both of those bombshells are
We
coming.
have the fastest rate of new cancer of anywhere in the history of human civilization.
Iowa?
I and all but one of my brothers have prostate cancer. My sister had a radical form of breast cancer.
Almost an entire family of brothers, all with prostate cancer, and their sister fighting a radical form of breast cancer? In Iowa, stories like this are not rare. They are the norm. In a state of roughly 3.2 million people, around 6,000 Iowans die from cancer every single year. In 2024, the Iowa Cancer Registry released a report that made national headlines, confirming Iowa had the fastest growing cancer incidence in the country and the second highest overall rate, trailing only Kentucky. But Kentucky has an explanation: smoking. Iowa does not. So investigators started asking the question nobody in power wanted asked. If it is not the cigarettes and it is not the alcohol, then what is poisoning Iowa? The answer begins with 2 ordinary retirees and a river full of dead fish. Jody and Terry live in Cass County, the corner of Iowa with the highest cancer rates in the state. In March of 2024, roughly 265,000 gallons of liquid nitrogen fertilizer spilled into the East Nishnabotna River, about 15 miles from their home. The spill killed nearly 50 miles of river and close to 800,000 fish. It was one of the worst fertilizer disasters in American history. And what did the state do about it? The case sat on the Iowa Attorney General's desk for an entire year with no response.
15 miles from here, 265,000 gallons of nitrogen fertilizer spilled into the river and ended up killing 50 miles of the river, 800,000 fish. That case was sitting on the Attorney General of Iowa's desk for 1 year with no response. It was kind of swept under the rug.
So Jody and Terry stopped waiting for the government and started testing the water themselves. What they found in the river was alarming. What they found coming out of their own kitchen faucet was worse. But before I show you those numbers, you need to understand how Iowa's water got this way in the first place, because this did not happen by accident. It happened by design. Rewind to the middle of the 20th century. Back then, a typical Iowa family worked about 160 acres with pigs, chickens, cattle, and dairy cows. That world no longer exists. Through the 1980s and 1990s, Wall Street investors and corporate agribusiness moved in. In 1998, sow prices were driven down to nearly zero, and independent pork producers were wiped out almost overnight. In their place rose concentrated animal feeding operations, massive industrial confinements, packing thousands of hogs into single buildings. Today, Iowa has more of these operations than any other state in America. America. And all of those hogs produce something that has to go somewhere. Research scientist Chris Jones calculated that the manure generated by Iowa's hogs is equivalent to the sewage of 125 million people. That is more than a third of the entire United States population worth of waste concentrated in one state, and none of it goes through a sewage treatment plant. It gets sprayed onto farm fields as fertilizer. From there, the rain does the rest, washing nitrates off the fields, into the streams, into the rivers, and eventually into the drinking water of over 1 million people. Here is where the science gets terrifying. The federal safety limit for nitrates in drinking water is 10 milligrams per liter. That standard was set back in 1974, and it was designed for one purpose only: preventing blue baby syndrome in infants. It was never designed to protect anyone from cancer. Since then, peer-reviewed studies have linked nitrate levels as low as 3 milligrams per liter, less than a third of the legal limit, to colorectal, kidney, bladder, and ovarian cancers, which means your water can be perfectly legal and still be slowly killing you.
It's important to recognize that the standard doesn't necessarily mean safe.
This is Chris Jones, a research scientist who has spent his career studying water quality. The standard he's referring to is the EPA legal limit of 10 parts per million for nitrates in drinking water.
So the standard of 10 was established in 1974. That standard was intended to be protective of infants. Infants are vulnerable to blue baby syndrome if they consume high nitrate.
Now back to Jody and Terry's kitchen. When they dipped a test strip into a glass of their own tap water, the strip turned dark almost instantly, reading somewhere between 5 and 10 milligrams per liter. Right in the zone, the newest research links to cancer. Do they drink it? Absolutely not. This retired couple hauls 5-gallon jugs to a grocery store 15 miles away just to have safe drinking water in the heart of American farm country. And in the summer of 2025, the crisis went statewide. Nitrate levels in the Des Moines and Raccoon Rivers, which supply drinking water to more than 500,000 Iowans, surged so high that Central Iowa Water Works issued its first-ever lawn watering ban and ran the largest nitrate removal facility on the planet at near capacity. The Des Moines and Raccoon Rivers now rank in the top 1% of all rivers in America for nitrate contamination, and roughly 80% of it comes from agriculture. So surely somebody sued, right? Somebody did. And what happened next tells you everything about who really runs Iowa. In 2015, the Des Moines Water Works filed a lawsuit against 3 northwest Iowa counties over nitrate pollution because the utility was burning through $10,000 a day just to make the city's water legal to drink. The rural counties being sued were asked a simple question: how are you going to afford this legal battle? Their answer was chilling: we have friends. And when journalists dug into who those friends were, the names that surfaced were the Agribusiness Association of Iowa, the Farm Bureau, Koch Enterprises, and Monsanto, now owned by Bayer. Together, these interests poured roughly $1 million into crushing that lawsuit. And it worked. The case died, the regulations never came, and the nitrates kept flowing. Hold on to that name, Monsanto, because this is where the story stops being about one state and becomes about every single person watching this video. Remember that first shocking secret I promised you? We are almost there. Monsanto is the company behind Roundup, the most widely used weed killer in human history, built on a chemical called glyphosate. Iowa ranks among the top states in the nation for glyphosate use, spraying it across nearly 30 million acres of cropland. In 2015, the World Health Organization's Cancer Research Agency classified glyphosate as a probable human carcinogen.
And take your health and your life to the next level. Today, we're going to be diving into the topic of glyphosate. Now, glyphosate is the active compound in the herbicide Roundup, which has been widely used in agriculture and home gardening for decades. And the reality is it's not just killing weeds, it's killing our bodies and our organ systems, including our gut microbiome. And most of us, even if you're eating natural and organic often, we've still been exposed to it every time we eat out.
In 2018, the German pharmaceutical giant Bayer purchased Monsanto for $63 billion and inherited a tidal wave of more than 100,000 lawsuits from Americans who developed non-Hodgkin lymphoma after years of using Roundup. The payouts have already topped $12 billion. One of those plaintiffs was a Missouri man named John Durnall, who filed suit in 2019 after 2 decades of exposure. On his claim that Monsanto failed to warn him of the cancer risk, a jury awarded him $1.25 million. Then Monsanto took his case all the way to the United States Supreme Court. On April 27, 2026, the justices heard arguments while hundreds of protesters rallied outside under a banner reading "People versus Poison." And on June 25, 2026, the Supreme Court handed down its decision, 7-2, in favor of Monsanto. Justice Brett Kavanaugh wrote that, because the EPA says glyphosate is safe and requires no cancer warning, federal law overrides every state lawsuit claiming the company failed to warn its customers. With one ruling, thousands of pending cancer lawsuits were effectively kneecapped, and the EPA became the single point of protection standing between you and the chemical industry.
Yeah, the Supreme Court decision ruled that the EPA is now our single point of failure for warning us about harmful effects from chemicals like glyphosate, that they alone can require a warning label. And what I found is that the EPA has been relying on ghost-written studies, ghost-written by Monsanto itself, to say that this product is okay.
You heard him correctly, and here is that first secret in full. Internal Monsanto emails, forced into the open by these very lawsuits, revealed that when independent studies began showing glyphosate could damage human DNA, Monsanto secretly launched a program to ghostwrite scientific reports, then recruited outside scientists to present them as independent research. Those ghost-written studies made their way into the EPA's official safety assessment. The EPA's own Inspector General's office flagged the corrupted research nearly a decade ago, and yet in the Supreme Court's 2026 decision, Justice Kavanaugh cited that very EPA report twice. The company accused of causing the cancer helped write the science that the highest court in America used to shut down the cancer victims. Read that back one more time. And if you want to see how confident these industry defenders really are in their own product, watch what happened when one of them was offered a glass of it on camera.
You can drink a whole quart of it and it won't hurt you.
You want to drink some? We have some here.
I'd be happy to, actually, but not really, but
not really?
I know it wouldn't hurt me.
If you say so, I have some glyphosate.
No, I'm not stupid.
Okay, so you.
No, but I know
so it's dangerous,
I know. No, people try to commit suicide with it and fail fairly regularly.
Tell the truth.
It's not dangerous to humans. No, it's not.
So you're ready to drink one glass of glyphosate?
No, I'm not an idiot.
Safe enough for your food, too dangerous for his lips. Now remember, all of this connects directly back to Iowa, because on March 31st, 2026, the Iowa Environmental Council and the Harkin Institute released a landmark report on the state's cancer crisis, built from 16 listening sessions across Iowa.
People get exposed to glyphosate. People who are farmers and pesticide applicators are exposed occupationally, and all of us consumers are exposed to glyphosate that comes through in the food supply.
Their conclusion identified 4 environmental suspects saturating the state: nitrates, pesticides, including glyphosate, PFAS forever chemicals, and radon. 13 of the 16 cancer types linked to those exposures are hitting Iowans at rates far above the national average.
In a review updating the evidence on human exposure and toxicity of pesticides, the body of evidence linking pesticide exposure and cancer is said to be so huge that the role of pesticides in cancer development can no longer be doubted. But most of the evidence that shows DNA damage from pesticides is from occupational exposure among farmers and workers in the fields, the pesticide industry itself, or those living in high spray areas. There is evidence linking non-occupational exposure to pesticides to DNA damage, in this case single and double-stranded DNA fragmentation in sperm of men with higher levels of pesticides flowing through their bodies.
State Representative Austin Baith, who is also a practicing internal medicine doctor in Des Moines, put it bluntly, saying the evidence now points beyond smoking, alcohol, and obesity to something in Iowa's environment, because nothing else explains why Iowa stands alone with the fastest rising cancer rate in America. He is far from the only physician sounding the alarm. Doctors and researchers across the natural health space, including Dr. Bobby Price, have been warning for years about glyphosate saturating the American food supply. Which brings us finally to that second secret, the one about what Iowa's own lawmakers did in the dark. For years, Iowa operated a statewide network of nitrate sensors that gave the public real-time data on exactly what was in their water. Scientists like Chris Jones used that data to publish honest assessments of Iowa's water quality. Legislators complained to his bosses. Implicit threats were made about funding. Then, in 2023, Republican lawmakers quietly cut $500,000 from the program and shut the sensors down. The state, facing the fastest-growing cancer rate in America, deliberately switched off the machines measuring the suspected cause. And the state senator who led that defunding effort, Dan Zumbach, received $18,500 from the Farm Bureau in 2024, the same Farm Bureau that spent $1.8 million over the past decade lobbying against water regulations. When the data threatens the money, they do not change the system, they delete the data. But here is the part of this story nobody saw coming. Iowans are done being quiet. That same scientist whose sensors were unplugged, Chris Jones, is now running for Iowa Secretary of Agriculture against the incumbent, a former Monsanto lobbyist named Mike Naig. Farmers like Matt Borman are planting cover crops, admitting they are part of the problem and demanding better from their neighbors. In May of 2026, 83 health and environmental groups sent a letter to federal health officials demanding emergency action on nitrates, calling Iowa the forefront of a national crisis because over 60 million Americans are drinking water contaminated with elevated nitrates right now. This was never just Iowa's story, it is yours.
Well, the time has come, I think. I think people in Iowa are fed up. We deserve to have clean water.
Chris Jones is running for Iowa's Secretary of Agriculture against the incumbent former Monsanto lobbyist Mike Naig.
The corporations spent decades and millions making sure no one in power would ever threaten this system. For a long time, it worked. But the political conversation in Iowa is finally shifting, and for the first time in a generation, their victory no longer feels inevitable. Because in the end, the people of Iowa are not asking for anything radical. They are asking for the one thing every human being on this planet deserves: clean water.
Dan Zumba, the state senator who led the charge to defund the sensors, got $18,500 from the Farm Bureau in 2024.
Now it's getting to the point where people are beginning to demand answers. So the conversation is changing. The political conversation is changing despite the funding.
If this story shook you, tell me in the comments what the water is like where you live, because 60 million of you are affected, and most of you have no idea.